What's up, guys? Early in the morning, going to check out a car to see if it's going to be worth a flip or not. We're going to go get a pre-purchase inspection on it, so stay tuned. All right, guys, there it is. This little Nissan Altima. We're going to get out, take a look, crank it up, and then drive it to the dealership for a PPI. He's going to leave it unlocked for me and with a key in it, so let's take a look. Oh, first impressions here. This thing is disgusting. Let's see if the key is in here. All right, let's go ahead and start this thing up. A little hesitant, but started up. All right, let's listen to that power steering. Oh yeah, that doesn't sound good. And this thing has 160,000 miles on it. It's an 06. I'm gonna pop the hood, put some power steering fluid in it. Oh man, look at this janky thing. Oh, we've got some of that good Prestone Asian power steering fluid. It's the first time I've seen that before, so we're gonna throw that in there. He does not have a cap for the top, so I'm gonna just put a bag on it and rubber band it. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much OEM. Quick view of the engine. As you can see, this thing's been sitting out for a while. Got a lot of leaf debris built up. And you're not gonna be able to see it because it's dark, but way back in there is the power steering, and it is pretty heavily coated. So I'm assuming there is a leak at least somewhere. Alright, and as you can tell, the interior is just filthy, but that has to do with this being the owner's work vehicle and also sitting for several months. If you notice the two cracks around the trim of the radio, I thought about replacing that trim, but it was going to be over $200 for an OEM part. So the only way that would be an option is if we could find it at a salvage yard. Now moving to the headliner, I noticed that there was no obvious stains and there was also no sagging. Now turning our attention to the front of the car, you can tell by the hood being creased up that it was probably an accident at some point in time. And also if you can notice the different colors in the hood and the front quarter panel. And now taking a look at the very front of the vehicle, both the headlights were very fogged up. I did price and find that I could find two headlights for $35 a piece. So that would definitely be an option. And here on the front hood, yet again, it is crumpled and creased. So probably indicative again of an accident. Now moving to the passenger side of the vehicle, you can see that it is missing its mirror cap, and generally around this whole car there are door dings and scratches. And then if you also see here, it looks like someone might have tried to pry into the driver's door to gain access. Alright guys, so first driving impression of this Altima. And it's pretty sketch. It's pretty sketch. Not gonna lie. The AC doesn't work, and it is a hot, humid day here in North Carolina, so that's good. The suspension feels like it's not even there. Tires feel like they are flat spotted. Power steering actually has gotten better and quieter since I put in the fluid, so that's good. Kind of takes a long time to shift. So I'm kind of concerned that there might be something wrong with the transmission. Now I did read that not necessarily this same model, but this year time frame for Nissan was kind of troublesome for their transmissions. And this one's shifting kind of hard. Now, you know, I don't know if anything's really wrong with this or it just needed a transmission service. And I guess they'll check that out today with the PPI and let me know. But so far we know we have a power steering issue. No air condition, so the owner did tell me he had charged it a few times. It lasts for about a week or two and then it would go out. So to me, the compressor obviously is still working if he was getting AC, but maybe there's just a leak somewhere in the system. So hopefully they'll check that today too. And we'll talk price and purchase price and all that after we get the PPI and see what they say and see what parts, repairs, and stuff like that would be to get this thing roadworthy, where I would feel comfortable flipping it and trying to resell it, if that's even going to be possible. The repairs just might be too much. Now I'm going to do them myself if possible, but
judging from what I'm seeing right now, just the parts bill alone could probably be about as much as what he's asking for this car. And then I don't know that there's going to be much meat left on the bone to go ahead and flip it and make any money. But we'll see. So we're almost to the Nissan dealership. We'll get that PPI and I'll let you know how it goes. So while we're driving, on a positive note, I don't see any check engine lights, so that's good. And the cruise control works. So we got two things going for us. That's good. All right, guys, so they just finished the PPI. It took them several hours to get finished, but they went through this thing top to bottom. Some things we knew, and then they brought to light a few other things, but overall, it sounds somewhat promising. We are actually going to take it to the person's house right now and drop it back off. And then once I get back to the house, we'll talk about what they're asking for it, what I'm willing to offer for it, and also the price breakdown of what it is going to cost to get this thing properly running and roadworthy. All right, guys, we are back at the house. You've seen my initial take on the Altima, and then also kind of just a quick general overview of some of the things that were wrong with the vehicle. I now have the PPI in hand, and we're going to go over what they found and what they felt was needed, and then I will tell you what he is asking for the car, what I am offering for the car, and then I want you to tell me whether if you think that it is a good deal or not. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the PPI here. All right, so the first thing they have listed on the PPI is wiper blades at a total of $44. Right, next is the in-cabin air filter for $75, which is outrageous. Coolant system flush, $160. Brake fluid flush, $150. Engine air filter, $42. Serpentine belt, $167. They're also talking about resurfacing the front rotors for $130. They wanted to do a fuel induction service for $156. The AC they noted was inoperable, but they did not give a price on that because they said they would have to do additional testing at $150 just to then conclude what was actually wrong with it. And then the fix could actually be anywhere from $200 to $350. So that's kind of the general assessment there. And then for the power steering pump and brass washers with fluid replacement, it is $673. Also, they noted that he was missing his power steering reservoir cap, so that's $29. And that's pretty much all that they found was needed as of right now. Some positive notes: the brake pads are still all good and have a lot of life left on them. Also, the tires look really good. They have a lot of wear left on them, even though one of them is mismatched, but overall, good deal. Alright, so I took the Nissan dealership's recommendations into account, and I pretty much sourced all the parts, fluids, and everything that I would want to replace on this. I also, even though they didn't have it in here, I checked how much spark plugs would be and a new valve cover and gasket. And I priced everything that I just told you and those additional pieces for less than $500. Of course, I'll be doing all the work myself, so I'd save on all that labor that the dealership was going to be charging. So the individual selling this vehicle wanted $2,500 for it. He said that he would take as low as $2,300 for it. When I talked to the guy at the dealership, he said it is a solid $1,500 car in the state that it sits right now. And then I actually offered the seller $1,800 for the car. So all in, if I got the car for $1,800 and I did all the work myself, I would be in it for about $2,300. And also, if I could source a new front hood somewhere for a reasonable price, I would consider doing that if I was still able to put it on the vehicle and make a profit. Obviously, the paint needs a lot of work, so I was going to do a full paint correction and detail on the car, interior and exterior. I project, if I was to get this, what the money that I would put into it and doing all the work myself and getting it looking as good as I wanted to, I would project that I could probably get about $3,500 for this vehicle, which would be a little over $1,000 profit. So I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments below. Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think it's worth the time, the money? And do you think that I could get what I'm thinking I could get for this car after it's been repaired? Also, I'd like to hear from you guys to see if this kind of content is something that you'd be interested to see more of, where I go get a vehicle at a lower price, fix all the issues wrong with it, and then resell it. If so, leave your comments down below. Alright guys, and that's going to do it for this video. I kind of hope this deal does go through so I can actually try my hands at repairing this and making a profit on it. It's just something that I've wanted to do for a really long time, so maybe this will be the start of many. But again, I want to hear from you and what are your thoughts about that kind of content. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't for hopefully more videos like this to come. Please share with your friends, and as always, thank you for watching.